As we've reported, the Air India flight was headed to London's Gatwick Airport. Anna Cunningham is at the High Commission of India in London, and she's tracking reaction out of the UK.
I think there is, like everybody else taking in this news, a deep level of shock about what has happened, and also concern from within the British Gujarati community. There's about 800,000 people of Gujarati origin who live here in the UK. There's big communities here in London, also in the Midlands, in the cities of Coventry and Leicester. We know now that 53 people on board that flight were British nationals. We can assume that some people may have been there for a visit to family and friends. Others might have been on business trips. It's a very popular route from Ahmedabad to London's Gatwick Airport, and the flight was due to arrive at 6:25 tonight. We have heard from the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. Let's show you his statement. It reads, "The scenes emerging of a London-bound plane carrying many British nationals crashing in the Indian city of Ahmedabad are devastating. I'm being kept updated as the situation develops, and my thoughts are with the passengers and their families at this deeply distressing time." Now, we've also heard from the British Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, who spoke earlier in the House of Commons. This is what he said.
Well, Mr. Speaker, my thoughts, and I'm sure those of the entire House, are with those who've been affected by the tragic plane crash in India this morning. We know that British nationals were on board, and Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that the FCDO is working urgently with local authorities to support British nationals and their families, and has stood up a crisis team in both Delhi and in London.
We've also heard, Alfie, from the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. He shared this on social media, saying the news from India is deeply distressing. My thoughts are with the family and friends of those on board. He goes on to say he is in close contact with the Indian High Commission in London. That's the building just behind us. And earlier, somebody has put out a bunch of flowers here outside the Indian High Commission. This is the place that anybody who needs a visa to enter India will have been here to get that visa processed. And as the British Foreign Secretary said, they're now working with the Indian authorities. They'll be going through and cross-checking the identities of those who were on board.
Anna, we do know that 53 Britons and 1 Canadian were on that flight. We've heard from King Charles as well. What has he said?
Yes, we've had a statement from Buckingham Palace. This is what the King says. "My wife and I have been desperately shocked by the terrible events in Ahmedabad this morning. Our special prayers and deepest possible sympathy are with the families and friends of all those affected by this appalling tragic incident across so many nations as they await news of their loved ones." He goes on to say, "I would like to pay a particular tribute to the heroic efforts of the emergency services and all those providing help and support at this most heartbreaking and traumatic time." I think, Alfie, we can expect to see prayers being said at Hindu temples across the country here for those who were on board that flight.
That was the CBC's Anna Cunningham at the High Commission of India in London.